Hi everybody, John Senior here, and welcome to this special one-off episode of FunkQuest. Now we have a returning Funkster and a brand new Funkster to the Funksters HQ today. So without further ado, Joshua Shea, tell us where you're dialing in from.
Hey, thank you for having me back. My name is Joshua Shea. I am speaking to you today from Maine in the United States. For those of you unaware, I'm about 2 hours north of Boston, about 6 hours north of New York City.
Excellent. And Johannes, tell us where you're dialing in from.
Yeah, I'm Johannes Mallow. I'm living in Germany, middle of Germany actually, so quite close to Berlin, and I'm excited to be here on the show. And let's see if I can, can get a good outcome here today.
Get some funk out. Yeah, that's what we want. So on your Wikipedia page and all your websites, it says that you're a memory sports world champion.
That's right. Yeah, two times world champion, but this is already four years ago, the last title. So.
Yeah, we'll not. You're world champion. That's good enough for us, right? Better than me and Josh.
Yeah.
So before we go on with the game, you've got a little test to do. Here is a list of words I'm going to ask you to remember by the end of the show. It won't get marked. You won't have to hand it in. So if you want to play along at home, no writing these down. Okay, so.
Yeah, let's. How many words? 20, 30?
20. Josh, I hope you're playing as well.
I'm going to try. I'm going to go for 3.
Okay, man. Suspend. Deserve, condemned, pale, cart, lethal, desk, smart, adjoining, advertisement, party, stick, writing, farthing, helpless, trees, dislike, stimulating, and dinosaurs.
Okay, I'm good, I guess. If you would go once again, would be cool, because in English it's even tougher for me.
Yeah.
The rules of FunkQuest are simple. Each Funkster selects one of 4 icons. Behind each icon is a question which may or may not have anything to do with the icon. The Funkster then has 1 minute to tell a story, tell a joke, or maybe even answer the question.
Oh, good. Fantastic. Right, okay, so we'll let Josh go first. Josh, you can pick a sailing ship, an anthill, a car, or a dog.
Well, since I just got another dog, I'm going to pick the dog.
I thought you were a cat man.
7 cats, 4 dogs now.
How handy is a dishwasher?
How handy is a dishwasher? Well, I married one and I love her. So I have to say that I think dishwashers are fantastic. I don't get my hands wet if I have a dishwasher. I would tell anybody that they should either get a dishwasher or they should just buy paper plates, because I don't think that we were put on this earth to clean our plates. So yeah, I dishwasher, 10 out of 10 for me.
What does Mrs. Shea say about being called a dishwasher?
Well, she's in the other room, so she doesn't know, and she may not be told about this episode. So I guess we'll find out if it gets back to her.
Well, I once read somewhere that we wash our stuff after we use it, not before, which kind of seems to me the wrong way around to me.
Well, isn't it just the way you look at it?
I suppose it is. So you wash your stuff, you eat it, you put it in a cupboard, and it gathers dust. Okay, so Johannes, hopefully you've got the idea.
I would go with the car.
How much of what you learned at school helps with what you are doing now?
Actually, not that much, I guess. I mean, I learned a lot at school, like mathematics, physics, and everything. I actually don't need that anymore today. But one thing what I really still rely on is learn how to learn, because we had in school, we had a class where it was all about learn how to learn. And nowadays this is actually my job. So it's really great that I learned that, because that's all you need. You need to learn how to learn, and then that's it.
Do you think that schools are packaging people in boxes and just shipping them out the door?
It feels like the system is still like 150 years ago. There's one person standing in the front, a class of 20 people listening to him or her. And I mean, does it make sense in times like today with internet and media and everything? So yeah, I don't think that's still up to date.
Joshua, you can pick a pebbled shore, some cyclists, a deer or an old map and compass?
I'm going to go with the cyclists.
The cyclists. How long have you gone without sleep?
Currently, or are you looking for the longest duration?
Give us both. You've got a minute.
Currently, I woke up probably about 5 hours ago. So yeah, I woke up around 7 in the morning here, and we're filming this at noon my time. So
Yeah.
I've been up for about 5 hours. The longest I ever went was the day my son was born. I usually go to bed about 1 in the morning, and my wife conveniently went into labor a little after midnight. So I had already been up about 15, 16 hours. And so we went to the hospital. She was only in labor 6, 7 hours. So that was nice. But I was so much adrenaline going through that I didn't actually go to sleep till the next night. So I did something like 46, 47 hours for my longest stretch. And I remember I was standing in the cafeteria at the hospital getting some coffee, and I felt like I was standing on marbles. I could not just maintain my balance. I was so tired, and I recognized that was probably the time to leave her and the baby and go home. So 47 hours.
47 hours. Johannes, can you beat that?
No.
No, I can't either.
Short answer. No, I can't.
Right, next question. Question 2, Johannes. Pebbled shoreline, a deer, or an old map and compass?
I like the old map and compass.
Excellent. Which textbook from school did you never return?
From school, I think that was a Latin dictionary. So we had a test in Latin, and one day I knew that there might be a test next week, and I was really bad at this time in Latin. It was really a problem for me. So I, let's say, take this book home and get some notes into that book. So with little pieces of paper, and then I got back to school the next day or next week, and then I changed the books in the beginning of the next class, because in the beginning of each lesson, each hour, the teacher gave the books out. So I just took it home, prepared it, and then in the beginning of the class, I changed books, and yeah, I still have that book. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to tell the story today, but it's already 25 years. So.
I don't know. I can't imagine your school's going to go knocking on your door tomorrow morning and collect it.
Hopefully not, but I guess they will not. So
is Latin taught in German schools still?
It's still there. It's free. It's not. You don't have to do it. You can choose it. So yeah, I did choose it, and it was a bad choice, but yeah, I survived it anyway.
You can pick, question 3, some coloured canoes, some red boots, some polar bears, or a parachutist.
Oh, I'm going to go for those red shoes.
Red shoes. How much is success based on skill or hard work?
I think that most of it is. But I think that you definitely need either luck or money to get to where you want to be. When people say, oh, I'm just a lucky person, I don't know that luck is real. I think that luck is being prepared to do something when called upon, and it's just a matter of timing. If scout from a professional sports team came and sat down next to me right now and said they needed a football player or a baseball player, I couldn't do anything because I haven't worked on the skill or the hard work to become a player, especially at this age. But I think that when I look how much success I've had in life, it's because I was skilled at the time. It's because I had put in the hard work. I think that sometimes when you have money, it can absolutely push you forward. But you need to have the skill on top of it.
Johannes, question 3. You can pick coloured canoes, polar bears, or parachutist.
The polar bears, please.
Polar bears. Good question for you, this. What helps you concentrate?
Meditation. That's really something I started over when I was when I was in the beginning of the memory sports career. But then I was also this kind of that my mind was wandering all around. And if you want to memorize something, you have to stay in the moment. You cannot just let your mind wander. So what I do before I start, and when I'm in a situation where I have to concentrate and calm down, I just sit there, close my eyes, and imagine myself being at home. Because at home, I'm always I'm relaxed, I'm concentrated. It's easier. And then I just sit there trying to be calm, breathe slow, and then I can focus much more. Just imagining myself in a silent, quiet, comfortable place.
I say, how do you train for memory sports? How can you possibly train?
I mean, I just have a list of words or numbers, and then I try to memorize these lists. It's like going for a run, like jogging to the park. You would maybe run for 2 kilometers each day. I would memorize 500 digits each day. So that's a mental sport, and I just try to do it on a regular basis to keep myself in shape.
That's a funky answer. Question 4, Josh, you can pick what we would call an ice hockey player, a snake, some people doing aerobic type stuff, or a goose.
I'll go for the goose.
Goose. When did you last use a public telephone?
You know, it's one of those things where it's like, when was the last time you held your child? You just don't realize you're doing it the very last time you do it. I don't know, but, you know, I will tell you, when I used to, my first job I ever had, I worked at a small kiosk at a mall selling sports cards and collectibles. And I used to get really bored, and I could see a bank of, this was when I was like 17 years old, so we're going back 30 years. I used to see a bank of public phones on the other side of where I was. So I had a phone with me. I would get the phone numbers from the bank of public phones, and I would just call them up, and I'd prank call people and I could actually watch them at the time. I was prank calling them. So that was, I don't know the last time I used a public telephone, but that was my favorite experience with public telephones, was calling them and pretending that I was the police, or pretending that I was a radio station giving away tickets to concerts, or I would ask questions about the bus schedule that was just next to it. And at the end, I would always start to say, like, hey, where did you get that red shirt? And the person would be like,
you need to. It's a good job TikTok wasn't invented back then, or Instagram.
Yeah, that was some great fun. Being stuck at that mall for 12 hours a day, I had by myself selling pieces of cardboard. I had to entertain myself now and then.
You go nuts, right?
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer. That's one of your best ever answers, I would say.
Thank you.
Johannes, you can pick an ice hockey player, a snake, or some ladies doing a warm up.
The snake.
Snake. When did you last go to a major sporting event, which could include memory sports? In fact, tell us about Memory Sports World Championship. What happens there?
My spontaneous answer would be I was to a football game last year, but of course I can go to a World Championship. So World Championship, the last one which I attended is already 2 years ago because of the pandemic. And I was in China. Actually, maybe I brought this virus somehow to Europe. I don't think so, but it was quite before the pandemic. And it's a big room, 120 people sitting there at their desks. And then you have 10 disciplines over 3 days. And for example, one discipline is 1 hour numbers. And you have 1 hour to memorize as many numbers as you can. And then you have 2 hours to write as many of them down again without any gaps, if possible. So the world record right now is like 3,000 digits in 1 hour. It's really unimaginable. And even I think sometimes, wow, why? And I mean, why is always a question when I'm sitting down at my desk at home training on a Sunday afternoon for 1 hour, just memorizing cards. Numbers, but it's still fun.
So you've got the world record is 3,700. What's your personal best?
My personal best is 2,720.
Wow.
Are
you exhausted after that? I just, you talking about these memory games, it sounds so mentally tiring. Do you go back to your hotel room and just vegetate for the...
I'm happy if I can make it back to the hotel room sometimes because it's so exhausting. And my first competition, I was not eating too much, not enough, and no chocolate and everything. So from then onwards, I just had a Red Bull on my table, coffee, chocolate, to keep myself awake. So that's really a thing. The brain sucks so much energy. You wouldn't believe it. So it's strange. It's more than I expected.
Who's the number one guru in the world that we could get on the show to do an episode with you who's into all this glucose in the brain and all that?
I think there are a couple of them. I actually know one who is also a memory expert. and a memory competitor and a memory expert, Boris Conrad. I think he is a really good guy to talk to when it comes down to explaining how memory techniques work in the brain. So it was really great.
Sold. We'll get him on tomorrow. Joshua, you can pick question 5, some books, clown, some lions, or a treasure chest.
Well, since I've written 4 books and they're all available on Amazon worldwide, I'll pick that.
What was the largest meal you ever had? And don't say the Burger King when your son was born.
I don't think I've shared this story on here. Maybe I have, but I once, when I was the editor and publisher of a magazine, I had to go and photograph sushi for a restaurant review that we were doing, or they just opened, I don't remember. And I love sushi more than probably any food on earth. And these people brought out plates and plates and plates and plates of sushi. I probably had the equivalent of 7-8 rolls. I don't know how many pieces of sashimi. They gave it all to me to bring back to the office. I probably would guess I personally ate $300 worth of sushi, and the rest of the office probably had another $300-400 worth of sushi. It was just one of the most, I think the word I'm looking for, it was one of the most beautiful days of my life when I could just see all this sushi in front of me, because I go and get sushi and I get a roll or two and I'm like, maybe I could still go for another one, but it's so expensive, especially now that having that one opportunity to eat sushi until I got sick was just, it was a pleasure.
You still eat it, or does it put you off?
Oh, no, it's not going to ever pull me off.
It's like,
never.
Johannes, you can pick a clown, some lions, or a treasure chest.
The treasure chest.
Treasure
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah.
How close have you been to the South Pole?
To the South Pole. That's down there, right? So to the South Pole, I think it might be Indonesia.
Indonesia?
Yeah, Indonesia. There was a World Championship too, and I traveled there 2017. I think that might have been the closest, but yeah, I need a globe for that, to be honest. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to the Southern Hemisphere. Josh, have you ever been to the Southern Hemisphere?
I've been to Curacao and Aruba, which are right off the coast of Venezuela in South America. And the equator's not far from there, but I was still north of the equator. So I don't think I've ever been into the Southern Hemisphere either.
I think I also try to figure out if the flush in the toilet goes in the other round, because there's this rumor on the south side this goes into the other round, and it's true, quite close. I was in touch with a Chinese billionaire, because in China it's very popular when you do some kind of memory sports. People celebrate you. I give autographs and everything. In Europe, everyone is like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" But there, you're kind of a star, and so we talked for 2 years. Nothing came out, but at one point he sent us a message. I am going to the North Pole next week. And do you want to join me? And I was like, I hate when it's so cold, so no.
So before we ask Johannes to recall these words, Joshua, how can we contact you and find out more about you?
Yeah, if you'd like to learn about my coaching for either porn addiction or betrayal trauma, you can contact paddictrecovery.com. And I am all over TikTok, Instagram, all those happy places. But paddictrecovery.com is the best place to find me.
Johannes, can you recall the words that I read out before the show started?
Quite tricky because it's already 30 minutes ago. So, but I'll close my eyes so no cheating here, like this Latin book. So I think there was man, suspend, deserve, condemn, or condemn. Condemn. Yeah. Pale, card, lethal, desk, smart, joining, advertisement, party, stick, writing, falling, helpless, trees, dislike, stimulate, and the dinosaur.
Staggering, absolutely staggering. That is the list. You can see the list. There's no jiggery pokery. He didn't write anything down. We're staggered. I mean, we've got to have you back. How can we do that? How can we make a show out of this?
There are options. We should talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't even know all of the meanings of all the words. That was quite tricky. So I think I know 17 out of 20, but for 3, I was just like condemned.
Yeah.
What is it?
Anyways, how can we contact you and get your coaching and get your services? How can we do that?
Of course. So yeah, just go to my website, johannes-mallow.com. I think it's the best way to get in touch with me. And then if you Google my name, you will find a lot of stuff also on YouTube. So yeah, looking forward to you contacting me. And if you have any trouble with any memory related stuff, just get in touch and let's see if I can help you.
Fantastic. Good episode. Gentlemen, thank you so much. No voting this time, but we will hopefully see both of you again. Thanks so much and take care.